Hello and welcome to Beyond the Point podcast with me, Allie Christensen. I'm curating the content I wish I had had as a dancer and creating strong, healthy, thriving dancers for the future. Not only am I your host and ex-professional dancer, but I own Align Fitness by Allie here in Huntington Beach, California. And I'm also the creator of online courses for dancers such as lower body flexibility and turnout for dancers. We are at a very important time of the year right now. Yes, it's the holidays. It's a wonderful time of year. We get to spend more time with our families. We get to dance a little bit harder, maybe a lot harder. And what I see is a lot of fatigue and rundown by the end of this holiday season. Now, this topic applies to everyone. Parents, adults, young dancers, whoever you are. I think by the end of the holiday season, we are just a little bit burnt out. It's a great burnout because we get to spend time with our family and friends, celebrating the people that we love, but it's still burnout. Now, I wanted to talk about this because this is a really critical time in life for dancers. I think that this applies also to us adults who don't aspire to be in point shoes dancing on stage, but all the things I'm going to talk about today apply to my life as I'm not dancing on point, apply to your life as you're not trying to be in the studio, but absolutely are geared towards your dancers here and things to make sure that you're looking at as parents and dancers to make sure we're getting the best and most out of our new year. Now, the reason that this is a critical time is that you guys as dancers are in Nutcrackers, you're getting ready for competition season, your rehearsals are getting high and stressful. You are doing a lot of work on top of finishing school. You have extra activities on the weekends because now it's the holiday times. You have family commitments. Our nutrition goes down, our sleep goes down, our training goes down, everything goes down. And then January 5th, auditions for summer programs and companies start. It's insane. I wish I could do something about this. That I don't know why auditions are starting in January. I don't know why we go from the most intense dance season of Nutcracker straight into auditions, but it's the way it is. So something that I see happen often and I want to share with you guys out in the world is some tips to be thinking about during this holiday season to assist you to be your best dancing self for your auditions come the new year. These tips are super simple. I did not invent them. I just hope that they are a reminder for you and maybe something you put on a little sticky note for yourself and you make little decisions for yourself over the next 2 months, as it's so easy to keep in mind your very short-term goal of Nutcracker or whatever you're doing in dance and to lose that end picture of auditions. And then Nutcracker's over and it's, oh crap, I have auditions and now my ankles are worn out, my body's worn, I haven't taken care of myself because I was killing myself getting ready for Nutcracker. So that starts with number 1, looking at our nutrition. Now, there are some great resources out on the internet. If you have not listened to my episode with Rachel Fine from To The Point Nutrition, I recommend it. You also can check her out on Instagram at To The Point Nutrition. She has a little Nutcracker guide or a Nutcracker survival guide that's fantastic, and it is a great addition to your stuff. Here's what I do during times that are more stressful to make sure that I keep my nutrition on par while still enjoying whatever season I'm in. So this holiday time is a time of lots of parties and it's so fun. And I love everyone's homemade goodies and things that they're bringing. And there's a bunch of foods that I would not normally make for my everyday eating that I love. And I plan to enjoy them all. So here's what I do for myself. When I am home and in my normal daily routine, I make sure that I'm eating the way that I know makes my body feel the best. This is a little bit different for everyone, and I recommend that you search out someone like Rachel to assist you to figure that out if you're not sure. But my experience is that the more whole foods you eat, the better. A variety of whole foods. This doesn't exclude carbs. That means we got to eat those carbs too. But fruits and veggies, nuts and seeds, grains, meat, dairy, all of the things in their whole form are going to give us energy, and they make me feel the best. And I find that I feel the best when I eat a variety and when I don't cut things out, but I just make sure that I'm eating as balanced as possible. So what I do is when I'm at home during the week, I make sure that I'm eating the things that make me feel the best. And then on the weekends where I know I'm going to have parties and things, I choose to only indulge in the things that I love, but know aren't going to give me the best energy when I'm at somebody's house or party. So for me, that means that at home, if I'm given a treat or something, I'm not going to eat it at home. I'm going to save it for when I'm at a party. And that's just a personal preference, because what I have found for myself is that eating and indulging in the treats that I love is so much better and more fulfilling when I'm with my friends. And I also find that because it's more fulfilling, I don't need to eat as much. When I personally get a plate of cookies and then I eat them at home, I find I can eat the whole plate by myself, and that's fine. But then afterwards, I don't feel great. I think, oh, I could have just had one. I really didn't need to eat the whole thing. It's that my body doesn't feel well. So I want to do everything I can to make my body feel well and thrive during this crazy up and down season. So that's a little trick that I use. And I have heard friends and family say that it's helped them a lot. So maybe something you can try this holiday is doing your best to eat your best foods that you feel great with when you're at home. And that means that before you know you have your party on Saturday night, that your breakfast and lunch are things that fuel you. And then you get to go enjoy your evening with your friends and your family, and you get to eat the things that you're so excited for during the holidays. Number 2 is our sleeping. Now, adults, we want all the sleep we can get, and most of us do not get enough. Kids, you guys take sleep for granted. And all of us adults are like, oh, if only we could sleep like a child. So your sleep is so important when your body is pushing extra during stressful times. And I don't mean mentally stressful, but physically stressful. You're dancing more, your timing is longer, you're going through school, your adrenaline is higher because you're excited about the holidays, things are happening at school and activities and events, and then you need that downtime to sleep. So if you can do your very best to get as much sleep as possible, here's my suggestion. During the holidays, take some time to set the time of day that you are going to watch TV or get on your phone or twiddle around on whatever video game you're doing. Set a timer, allow yourself that indulgence, because I love to come home and flip on the TV. It's a nice way for me to relax for sure. But what I find is that when I'm home alone, I can watch TV for hours. I can go into the night. I can go to like midnight watching TV really easily. But because my boyfriend and I have a routine and we both know that we need sleep, when we're together, I turn off the TV at like 9:30. I get ready for bed. I do my thing, and honestly, try to be asleep by 10 or 10:30. That's how I feel the best. It has taken me years to figure out how much sleep I need, and now that I know, I am committed to it. Nothing can get in the way of my sleep except dire emergencies, but that took me being very clear about when it was time to put away my work, put away my TV, and doing the things that I needed to do before. So dancers, that means homework. I know that you guys dance and I know that you're busy, but I also know that a lot of you just don't go to bed. And you can say, oh, that's not me, but I know. Remember, I work with you guys all day, every day. I hear a lot of you are like, oh, I just didn't go to bed until 1. And I'm like, oh, were you doing homework? And I'm like, no, I wasn't. Was it a TV show you really wanted to watch? No, it was just TV. Okay. If there's something you really want to watch on TV, watch it and then be done with it. So it's really, really important for you guys to be getting as much sleep as possible. That's going to set yourself up for a bunch of other successes, and it's going to make a big difference for your recovery. Your sleeping is your time that you get to recover. So make sure that you're getting that time thinking of auditions in a couple of months. Don't worry about today or tomorrow. I know it's like, oh, I feel fine today. One of my favorite sayings when I was young, and I still say this, but I try to be a little bit smarter about it, is me and my best friend would say, we can do anything for a week, meaning right before finals or performances, we were pushing ourselves to the max. And when we were exhausted and couldn't like mentally think of things, we would say to ourselves or out loud, we can do anything for a week. And that's a great attitude. It keeps you positive. But if that becomes your way of life of like, oh, I'm okay not to sleep tonight because I can do it tomorrow. That's fine. I can do anything for a day. And then you don't correct that, it becomes a way of life and you start depriving yourself of the thing that gives you the most recoup and energy. Third thing that I see slip is your training outside of the studio. I know that your rehearsals get higher, your priorities have to shift a little bit. And if we're not even talking about the studio, just the priorities during the holidays change. Things get busier, there's more activities, there's more parties, there's more things going on. I get it. But remembering that you have an ultimate goal, that your goal is not to make it to the holiday party this Saturday. Your goal is to make it into the Royal Ballet audition and get the part that you want. That means that you better still be training outside of the studio the way you know you need to. And if you don't know that you need to train outside the studio, let me be the first to tell you, you need to train outside of the studio. So don't let those little habits slip. This is the time that I see a lot of dancers who come to me regularly. They go, oh, I can't make it this week. Rehearsals changed. Rehearsals change. I get it. But you have to make it a priority. If you're working with someone or you're going to do it on your own, you cannot let this be the thing that slips. If you want to stay injury-free and healthy for your audition so that come January 5th, you don't feel like a slug that isn't ready for the biggest thing you've wanted to do all year, you have to keep in mind that you're going to work the extra hour or 20 minutes on your own to make sure that you're keeping your body in tune and healthy and injury-free. So this is a huge thing that I see. And parents, I know that you're getting busy and you're driving your kids everywhere, but this is a big priority. If you're putting all this time into your kids' training, all this money into your kids' training, don't let it drop off right before the holidays. Really push to find the time to assist them to see the value for you guys to come, because it's going to make a huge difference. And it breaks my heart, and it happens every single year, that a dancer who has worked really hard during the year and then ends up dropping off during the holidays comes and goes to auditions and then gets injured and can't do the auditions that she really wanted to do. And the parents are like, what happened? We worked for this. And I'm like, I know you did, but it takes so much commitment and diligence. And if you're in the dance field at this point, you know that, or you're realizing it, and parents, you're seeing it, and it's a lot of work. That's the bottom line. So if you're going to be doing the summer auditions, don't slack off on your work right now. This is the time to keep going. To make all of this happen, the fourth thing that needs to happen in my life and in your life to make this all possible is to say no. There are things that we just have to say no to. And parents, this probably resonates a little bit more for you. There are a million places to be. There are lots of friends and family who need things, want things, and that you want to show up for. And sometimes we just have to say no. Dancers, sometimes you get to say no to a party or a friend hangout because you just had an exhausting weekend rehearsing and doing the thing you loved, getting ready for Nutcracker, and you look ahead at the next 2 weeks and say, oh man, I'm going to be in the studio every single day. Then we're going into performances, and then it's going straight into Christmas. And I'm not going to really get a day off for the next 3 weeks. Maybe I should take this day to make sure that I feel recouped. Maybe that means that you only hang out with a friend for an hour, or just you flat out say, you know what? It's not going to work today. I have something else planned. And you take the time to rest, lay on the couch, read a book, go for a walk, eat your healthy food, take a nap, hang out with your family, make sure you're surrounding yourself with people that actually fill you up and don't drain you. Saying no is super powerful, and it's something that we learn as we get older. Hopefully we learn it as we get older. I know I'm still working on it, but it's really been quite a freeing thing as my schedule has gotten busier over the last few years. I've been traveling more to work with you guys at studios around the US. I have weeks on weeks that sometimes I don't have a stop day. And I have friends that I want to see that I haven't seen, but I know that I would rather stay healthy and not get sick, and I want my hip and my back to feel good, and it's more important to me to have my body be up to par than it is for me to go to the movies with someone. So if your goal is to get into a certain summer program or to make it into a company, and that truly is a priority, remember that you get to make little decisions daily that get you there. So if you haven't listened to my goal setting episode, we talk about this, how to decide, how to find out what goals you have, what are your priorities, and then what are the daily actions that you can set up for yourself to get there. It's a great system because I'm not telling you anything. I'm not telling you what your goals should be. I'm not telling you how to get there. I'm giving you the guidelines of how to figure that out for yourself, because it's going to be different. You may have the same goal to get into the ABT summer workshop as your best friend, but how the two of you accomplish it could be completely different. And if you followed what your friend did, you might fail because it's not the way that you would do things. It's not the things that your body needs. So make sure that you go back and listen to that episode as you're really trying to put your goals in perspective. I think that's a huge thing for us as dancers, athletes, and goal-oriented people. We have to keep in mind our short-term daily goals, our short-term monthly goals, and then our big picture goals. What is the big thing for the year that you're working towards? Doing something every day to make sure that you are feeling your best, that you have done something to fill your cup up, not take away from. You're going to end up in a better place and you're going to reach your goals faster. So really quickly, recapping, the genius yet I did not make them up things are: make sure that you are keeping your nutrition where you need it to be. It's different for every person. My trick was to be really diligent in what I know fills me up and makes me feel good when I'm home during the week and doing stuff by myself, and then to enjoy my holidays and enjoy the foods I love when I'm with friends and family and experiencing the holiday stuff. Number 2 is sleep. This might mean that you get to kind of change up your nightly routine, but get as much sleep as possible. I promise this is the biggest time that you will find healing when you do this, and your body will feel better and your future self will thank you for getting enough sleep. Number 3 is training. This is the thing I see drop off the most. We see only our short-term goals of trying to get through Nutcracker rehearsals or whatever holiday things you have going on, and we forget that the long-term goals mean that you have to keep working outside of the studio and have to keep training, and you have to stay up on it even when you're tired from rehearsals and that kind of stuff. So don't let your training outside of the studio drop off during this season. And number 4 is saying no. We get to choose the times that we spend with our people. We get to choose our bodies and our health over experiences sometimes, and that's not a bad thing. That's a fantastic thing. When you have a healthy, thriving body, you're going to be able to do more things in the future, and sometimes that means saying no in the moment so that you can feel your best and see what your big picture goal is, which in this case could be your auditions come the new year. So if you haven't checked out those 2 podcast episodes, one with Rachel Fine from To The Point Nutrition and 2, our goal setting episode, those would be great ones to listen to right now and make sure that you're setting yourself up to succeed for the new year. If you have questions or comments, you can always reach out to me on info@alignfitnessbyally.com. I would love to hear your questions or things that you feel like have assisted you to make sure that you're ready for auditions. I also love to see you guys on Instagram. Come on over to Align Fitness by Ali and share your thoughts there. Not only are you sharing them with me, but you're also giving a gift to all the other people in our Align Fitness family. And some of the biggest ahas for other followers have been from people who aren't me. So you sharing is giving to the community that they will want to then share back and maybe give you a little tip that you didn't think of. So let's keep filling up that Align Fitness family cup, because it really comes from you guys also, not just me. And if you haven't yet, please feel free. And I would love for you to leave a review on iTunes of this podcast. We're getting up there in our episodes. I'm getting great feedback. Direct message on Instagram. about the podcast. It's so fantastic to hear, but only I get to hear, and it's not then spreading the word. So I would love for you guys to take a quick second and leave a review so that someone else could find this information and we can be sharing the goodness and be healthy, thriving dancers and parents. Very, very lastly, the thing that I'm loving this week is kind of a little nerdy trick, but I've talked a lot about sticky notes in the past. I'm a sticky note lover. I think it comes from my mom. She has sticky notes all over her house full of things that need to be done. And when she's done, she just gets rid of them. But I started to color coordinate them just a little bit. And it has really assisted me to see what needs to be done today and what needs to be done this week. It's made a big difference because I find that I put notes in my phone and it is helpful, but I then sometimes make multiple notes of different things and I don't put them all in the same place. And I'm very much like it needs to be in front of me type of person. So I've talked about using sticky notes for your goals and putting affirmations and things in places that you can see them so that they stay there. This has also been helpful as the season is getting busier, making sure that I'm getting everything done I need to day and week. It's made a big difference. So go get those sticky notes out and get cute ones you like, get colorful ones you like, and make your life just a little bit easier like I'm doing if that's something that floats your boat. So thank you for listening and hanging out with me today. I will see you all next week back here on Wednesday for the next episode of Beyond the Point.